man, the Dodgers, are we fading the Dodgers or are we on them? I'm curious your thoughts because they had all those wins last season, and that is just a high win total. But what did they have? 110 last year? 111?
111?
Like that.
111 and 51. I think that's a pretty good year. 111 and 51 with a run differential of plus 334. It was insane. So their win total is 3 higher than the Padres. So the Dodgers obviously the favorite in the division.
Yep.
Aaron, I think it's time. I think it's time to go elsewhere. God, this is tough. Mm-hmm. This is tough. Now, before, in previous seasons, I don't even think I would try to make that case, but I think we can start to do it. Now we're going to find out. We're truly going to test the depth of the Dodgers organization. We've always talked about how deep they are, but now you look at how things are piling up at this moment. Now, as far as pitching front, not as bad. Gonsolin, he's dealing with an ankle. We'll see him earlier on in the season. Buehler, he's coming off his serious injury, so I don't know what you're going to get or when you're going to get it out of Buehler. But the position players is the key. We all know they lost Trey Turner, Justin Turner. Not that he was doing as much over the last couple of years, but Bellinger, he was a nice option to have in that outfield. He's now a Cub. Gavin Lux goes down to a serious injury. So now we're starting to test things. Like, yes, they are still great. Muncy is awesome. Freddie Freeman, same thing at the corner infield spots. And, you have a great player in Mookie Betts, a guy that's won an MVP. But what about all of these other spots? How much are these other guys going to have to step up? And, you got JD Martinez. They're going to score runs. They're going to win a lot of games. We all know that. But are they going to have the best record in this division? Are they going to go over this 96.5? Some of the projection systems say no. Pacoda has them at 94. Fangraphs has them at 87 wins, the Dodgers. That might be a bit of an overreaction.
That is a huge drop-off. There is a 95.5 out there. Or at least that's what it was
95.5? I mean, just looking at where we are now, I probably would not play it, even though it's always the Dodgers just crushing it.
We go Padres first, Diamondbacks second. That's Padres. 35-1.
Yeah. Which one? Padres
if
won.
You do the division straight forecast, if you pick the 1 and 2, you could have some fun with that.
If you remove the Dodgers, you get some crazy odds, I'd imagine.
If they were to finish third, basically. Just pick
that
the first and the second.
That would be a free fall. I don't think that's going to happen. But I can see the Dodgers not winning the division. What do you think, Jake? Are they just so deep it doesn't matter? But, I mean, both Turners and Bellinger and Lux, it's like, I don't know, man. We're going to find out.
When we talked about the AL West, I was kind of iffy. I agree that it's kind of maybe time to take a shot at the Astros. Not sure you'll come through on that. I'm totally bullish. It's time to fade the Dodgers. This is a completely different team. I've been saying this, that this is Padres season. The Dodgers, they'll probably still be good. They'll probably still win 90 games. But if they win 87, like Fangraphs projects, I'm not going to be surprised at all. Like you said, the top 4 in that lineup is awesome. Obviously, Betts, Freeman, Muncy, Will Smith. But after that, the ghost of JD Martinez, David Peralta, Miguel Rojas, Miguel Vargas is going to be their starting second baseman. He's a high prospect, but what are you going to get from him from the jump? It's a lot of projection. And then Trace Thompson is your starting center fielder. Clay's brother.
What?
Literally, Clay Thompson's brother is starting for the Dodgers in center field. That's crazy. I just don't think, these are fine players, but it's not going to be the 100-plus wins that you're accustomed to seeing. You might not see Walker Buehler all year. He had Tommy John surgery, and that was late in the year, so you might not see him at all. Julio Urias and Clayton Kershaw are going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting here, and Clayton Kershaw, he's good.
Kershaw's going to go down at some point.
Right, you're not getting 200 innings out of him anymore. Same thing goes for, I said when we were talking about the AL West and Tyler Anderson, yeah, the Dodgers have this habit over the last few years of turning mid-tier pitchers or even bad pitchers into good pitchers. We saw it with Anderson. We saw it with Andrew Heaney. We've seen it with a number of guys. Noah Syndergaard, I think they'll be able to squeeze a lot of performance out of him, but he goes down every year too. He's never healthy either. Tony Gonsolin, can he repeat what he did last year? I have my doubts about that. Dustin May, I really like him. He's had a history of not being able to stay healthy. He's coming off of Tommy John surgery. So it's just a lot of question marks for the Dodgers. I can't sit here and say, yep, division, lock it in. I think the Padres are for sure. I think this is their division. It'll be close. It'll be tight. I'll probably the Dodgers have the star power to make it close. I don't think the Padres are going to run away with it. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to be sitting here and the Padres are going to be NL West champs.
Wait, are we saying that is the wrong team favored?
I think
so.
Should
the Padres be favored?
I think so for sure.
The Padres have the best lineup, right? If Juan Soto is the same guy he was a couple years ago, they've got the better lineup.
He was good last year still.
They're an all-star team. Yes. I don't know how else to put it. They're an all-star team. Tatis's suspension is over on April 20th.
Sure is.
Tatis, people forgot about Tatis. He's going to be back in the first month of the season. We think he's going to be a bad baseball player.
Cruz
Machado.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys.
They added Bogarts. They didn't need to add Bogarts.
Sure
they went
sure
Bogarts. I mean, it's just. And by the way, Carpenter was sneakily really good last year.
Sure,
he's probably going to be their DH.
Yep.
Darvish, Musgrove, Blake Snell season. Let's go. I mean, I think the Padres should be favored. They're going to go over this 93.5 win total, and we know they're going to add. They're going to find out what they do need throughout the season, and they're going to add on at the deadline. This is the team that scares me about playing the Braves for the World Series. This is it.
I brought this name up a few times when we've been talking about baseball. Brian Reynolds is out there and asking to be out, and he wants to get out of Pittsburgh. The Padres have shown that they'll get anybody. If Trent Grisham continues to not be able to hit, his weight, if he continues to hit below 200,
oh my God,
the Padres are going to look at Brian Reynolds and go, and the Padres have been tied to Brian Reynolds for the last 2 years. At every trade deadline the last 2 years, we've heard Padres and Brian Reynolds. Padres and Brian Reynolds. AJ Preller really likes Brian Reynolds. We've heard it for the last 2 years. We heard it all winter too. I think that's going to happen if Grisham doesn't take a step forward at the plate. He's a Gold Glove center fielder, but he's easily replaceable. Reynolds, if they get him, it's over. And we're not even talking about Jake Cronenworth was an all-star 2 years ago. He had a down year last year. Ha-Sung Kim broke out in a huge way after he took over shortstop for Fernando Tatis Jr. Even if he doesn't, put up an 800 OPS, he steals a lot of bases, plays really good defense. And I thought the Michael Wacha signing for the Padres was really good. He was great for the Red Sox. Now you go to that park in San Diego with that defense too, he'll probably be really good again. This Padres team is far and away the best team in the division. I mean, even if you don't expect Soto and Machado and Bogarts to perform like MVPs, one of them will, by the way. You have a really good chance of one of them at some point performing like an MVP, if not wire to wire.
Yeah.
God forbid if all three of them or two out of the three do at the same time. It's crazy. I think this team is going to be really good. And like you said, Carpenter was an awesome pickup. He crushes left-handed pitching, or right-handed pitching, I'm sorry. And, I mean, Nelson Cruz, whatever he gives you at his age of about 72 is gravy at this point.
Also, you brought up a good point. Even in a down year, Juan Soto is still so good because he's just that good. Yeah,
so great.
Even if this is a little down year, it's still going to be amazing coming from him.
Tough to project. Toughest thing in baseball to project bullpens year to year. But you have Hader. If it's a problem, they'll add. But what about their bullpen?
I mean, I think the bullpen's still good. Hader, he had a rough start there, but at the end of the year, he was rock solid. I mean, he was the Hader that you came to expect. And I mean, they're setup guys too. They gave a really big extension to Robert Suarez too. He was awesome. They have a really good 1-2 punch there at the end. And then eventually, I think they'll add pitching, and Nick Martinez will go back to the bullpen as well. He was great as a reliever for them. So I don't even think they have a weakness there either. I think their bullpen's super solid as well.
Man, would you like the Braves or Padres more?
I would probably still go Braves just because I like the rotation more, especially if Soroka's back, and it looks like he's going to be. I like the Braves rotation a little bit more.
You can find both at 10-1.
I can't back Blake
same
Snell,
number.
You know this.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Oh man, I can't wait to see Blake Snell in the playoffs. You're gonna be freaking out.